Hi folks, this is Jake. Hope you're okay today. It's good to see you. We're looking at Gary Habermas on the resurrection of Jesus, and we're looking at his methodology. We're looking at his PhD, and I'll link to his PhD. If you want to study historical Jesus studies and the resurrection of Christ, then have a look at Gary Habermas's PhD. Without further ado, we will just listen to a little Gary Habermas and then talk a little bit about his PhD.
Just Muslims just a little while ago, a few years ago. They both come to Christ. They both debate regularly, are into apologetics big time, both writing books. Abdu's already got a book out. I didn't miss one of yours, did I? You already written like 5 books and I just don't know about it? No. Oh, and for you guys who are like really, really rough, they're both in the mixed martial arts, so don't mess around with them. Nabil has a 2nd-degree black belt in Taekwondo, and Abdu always tells him he's nothing. You just can't handle them, you know? So, it helps to, when you're in apologetics, it helps to work with mixed martial arts. They kind of go along together. I was an ice hockey coach at Liberty for, 9 years. I was a head coach. And so I tell people, hockey goes along with apologetics too, because Christians and hockey players solve their problems in roughly the same manner. Okay, well, that's enough of an introduction. But seriously, I just said that this is of first importance because it concerns the gospel. Now, let me stop here for a moment, talk a little bit about my methodology, a little about historiography, and then we're going to go down and do the walking and talking for the rest of this. By the way, it's time to the end. It takes me a little while to do this. We're done at 9:30, but I've been told that there's nothing else going on in here, and we can stay a little bit longer if you folks want to stay for Q&A after it's over. If you need to get up and go, or you told somebody you'd meet them at 9:30, no offense whatsoever, just get up and leave at 9:30. But if some of you want to stay, did not accept things at face value from Scripture. I started working on a methodology that I now call the minimal facts method. I developed in my doctoral dissertation at Michigan State University. I should stop and see where I am before I think about, okay, do they hate Michigan State around here? Okay, we're in the West Coast. I probably can say that I'm okay. Now, if I said Michigan, I'm not from Michigan, but somebody from the University of Michigan, somebody told me tonight there's a lot of
So we'll get into that his lecture in more detail in a minute. Gary Habermas's PhD. He writes, to the contrary, Jesus was believed to be literally being raised from the dead as he appeared to his followers before his return to heaven. Gary Habermas is doing a PhD trying to show that Jesus rose from the dead, trying to do it as objective as he can. He covers a wide variety of scholars from Markson to Borncombe in page 5 to Reginald H. Fuller, K.L. Schmidt in 1891-1956, Martin Diabolus, Rudolf Bultmann, etc. Paul Mayer, Yamuchi, John Warwick Montgomery, William Ward. Then, in the first part of his PhD, he goes on to Hume studies. He writes a quote of David Hume: "A miracle may be accurately defined as a transgression of a law of nature by a particular violation of deity or by the interposition of some invisible agent." Habermas then quotes C.S. Lewis: "I use the word miracle to mean an interference with the nature by a supernatural power." Habermas writes, in this paper, the writer will refer to a miracle as an event which interferes with the laws of nature but does not violate them. I agree with that. Page 30 in his PhD, there is such a disagreement as to a suitable definition of myth today. There is such disagreement as to a suitable definition of myth today. So in Gary Habermas's PhD, he defines his terms, and I kind of would agree with him about his definition of miracle, and I would agree with him. Even today, the scholarship on what a myth is very, very nebulous. There's many different ideas. We'll get into more detail now on David Hume, and we'll listen to a bit more of Gary Habermas's position.